And we are back again, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start, this episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take control of your financial future. Get your complimentary financial analysis today by Next Level Financial. As I was saying, it's an absolute honor today to get my man Christian on the podcast, bro. What is up?
Nothing much. How you doing, boss?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Busy day at work. Had this pod, that's all I talked about at work. When I have a podcast today at work, that's all. When I show up and I start talking about it, people are like, just stay away from him because he's like this all day long, right? So yeah, super excited, man. It's an absolute honor to finally have you on, and it's an honor to we have met and hung out for a brief little time at Daytona, but we'll get into all that. Yeah, man, for sure. It's good to see you, my man.
Yeah, you too. It's a pleasure being here. I appreciate it.
Listen, the honor is absolutely all mine, and I say it all the time because it is. So we got a lot to talk about, Christian, and I'm excited to hear your story, bro. So you got to tell us your story on where it all started on the beautiful twos.
Yep. Man, it started many years ago, probably when I was like 12 or 13. My stepdad had like a old CB, like 300. I can't remember what it was, but it was a street bike for sure. It wasn't meant to be ridden around in my cabin on sand. So I basically crashed the thing everywhere I went, and
every time
front would just fold, skinny tires, just super street tires, like just shouldn't have been riding it in the dirt at our cabin, and that kind of, sparked the love for it. And then growing up, my mom and my stepdad, they would ride Harleys all the time, riding electric glides. They would always go out to Sturgis, and I would ride on the back with my mom and with my stepdad and go up to the cabin or go on a cruise or whatever. So that's kind of where the love for it all started for me. I never really had any like motocross background or anything like that. And then probably about, I want to say like 24, 25, maybe a little bit older. I got my first street bike, which was a 94 FZR 600.
Nice.
Rebuilt the carbs on it, new tires, and rode that around for a couple years on the street. And that just, that sealed the deal. Like there's nothing else to do after that, and except get new, better bikes. And went from that stage to getting a CBR 600, which was my street / race bike. Because once I started riding on the street with people, it was one of my buddies, Mike. He told me about the CRA, and was like, "Hey, come up and race." And I was like, "Oh, you can race? I didn't know you could do that."
Right, let's go.
Let's do it. So started racing, and it was game over after that, and I found what I needed to find.
Right, and then next thing I know, I'm broke as shit.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I need a job really quickly,
and a good one at that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and boss, I need these days and times off. And he's looking, he's like, dude, you're only gonna be working here maybe 6 months. He's like,
right? Yeah,
thank you.
Please, yeah. I literally use all my 2-week vacation for every race weekend that I could just to go up and race, and it was definitely it was worth doing for sure. It was my highlight of every year, was just take 2 days off, go up and race. And thankfully the races are on the weekend, so I only got 2 days off a month to take. But 6 race weekends up here in Minnesota, we only get 6 of them. So yeah, it was tough at first, but I found a way. I was grinding, pulling my little trailer with my Ford Fusion, just doing anything I could to get me and all my stuff up there. It was worth doing for sure.
Oh, 100%. I remember when I sold, I tell this story all the time, but I sold my only vehicle to continue racing, right? And I'm like, dude, I could sell that. And then so I bought a bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, so when I go to the track, go to race weekend come up, if I couldn't borrow a truck or a trailer from one of my buddies or Jeep or whatever with a hitch on it, I would just go rent a U-Haul, tow it in the back of a U-Haul truck and pull up in there in a U-Haul.
It was just funny because that was the job I got so I could race. Was I worked at U-Haul. I was working on trailers every day, busting my butt just so I could go up to the track. And I never rented a U-Haul, but I probably could have got them for cheap. But I had a trailer at the time, so I just used that until I eventually got my own truck. So, yeah, it was a grind for sure to get to where I'm at now, but well worth it. Well worth it.
Part of the beautiful journey we take, right? And we don't realize, as we sit back and think about it, as we're reliving it right now, then you live in the moment again, right? And you're like, man, all the well, we call it sacrifice, right? Because yeah, I didn't go out and eat. I didn't do any of that, right? Everything went to buying tires and fees and yada yada. You guys know the game. Looking back, you're like, man, I made a lot of sacrifices, but what a beautiful journey, right? Look at all the friends and family you met along the way. Otherwise, you would never have, right?
So many people that I've met along the way and that are still around, and people I look up to, and I've changed my own habits so that I can be better, not only for them but for myself, and so that I can do this thing that I love that's called racing. Got to keep on going.
I do, man. It's beautiful. I want to talk about this FZR 600. Yeah. That was my buddy's first bike, right? Yeah. And you mentioned something that you don't ever hear anymore. I know how to work on them because that was back in my era, right? It's carburetors. I don't know if all you guys listening right now know what a carburetor is. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
That seems like a lost art today, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was difficult. It was the first time. I've never even worked on a carb at that point, but I was like, if I'm going to start, might as well do it with my own bike. So just bought a whole new rebuild kit for it. And I'm pretty good at taking stuff apart and putting it back together without messing it up. So I made sure I took pictures and wrote down everything I needed and figured out where things needed to go so I could make sure it ran right. And luckily it worked out. So it worked great, and sold the bike after probably a year or two of having it. And it was definitely a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill there that got me through that one. But it taught me a lot about bikes and how easy they can be and how hard they can be to work on depending on what you're doing. So
that's a fact. That is a fact. I often think when I watch, when Junior Cup was in, I'd watch all my friends on the Junior Cup bikes. I'm like, how badass would it be to run an FZR 400 in this class? Yeah. Right? It'd be pretty cool. Well, now they'd probably allow the 600 because it's probably about the same amount of horsepower.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Oh my god, dude, that's awesome, man.
They're fun, man. It wasn't the fastest bike. At the time, everyone had fuel injected bikes out on the street, and I'm out there with my old bug-eyed FCR and just kicking people's butts in the corners. Like they'd do the whole "let's go fast straight" kind of thing, and then they'd slow up for a corner, and I just boom right around them. And that was when my buddy Mike was like, "Hey, you gotta come to the racetrack." I was like, "Okay, sounds like fun to me."
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's I remember, man, that being one of the most nimble little bikes I've ever ridden. That thing was just sweet. It was sweet handling, but you're right, it didn't get on the throttle. You're like, okay, are you coming? All right, let's go. Any day now, like let's roll. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it was a good time. I loved it. And unfortunately, when I sold it to a kid that his dad showed up with him to buy it. And his dad rode it up and down the block just fine, and then the kid got on it, and as he rode away, I was like, "Does he have any riding experience?" And he's like, "0." And I'm like, "Oh no!" And at the time, the construction was getting done on my street, so there was like that lip you get before they put the final layer of tar on the road, and he went to turn around and hit that little lip and just tipped it over. And I'm like, good thing I got the cash in my pocket already, because it's yours now for sure.
Right. Oh my god, it's funny you mentioned that because my story is almost identical to yours as far as first experience. Well, growing up riding my buddy's dirt bikes. It was just a single simple carb then, right? They showed me how to blah, 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 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get my first street bike in high school. When I got my driver's license, bought a brand new 1996 ZX6R, right? Got worked, went to school, saved up my money, got my income tax back, bought a pipe, full Muzzy pipe header, jet kit, ignition vancer, K&N filter.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped it off at the shop. They call me in a week. They're like, hey, we can't get this thing to run. I was like, okay, just leave it. I'm going to come pay you for what I owe you. I'm not going to pay you for the full job, obviously, because you didn't do it, but leave it in pieces. Don't even put it back together.
Right.
So I show up, trailer, back home. This is before YouTube and all that. Ordered a shot manual.
Mm-hmm.
Right, had the jet kit with the instructions in it, and like you, I just took pictures with a camera. Right, got the Polaroid. Ching, got to wait a couple minutes for that thing to come through. You're like, okay, yeah. Wrote notes on the back of it, right, with a Sharpie. Yeah, dude, it took me, I don't know, probably 12 hours, but I did it all, everything. Pulled the carbs, drilled out the fuel mixture plugs, dude, the whole 9 yards. Wrote it that Saturday, and like, how'd you get the bike running? I said, man, I did it all myself, and I'll never, ever take my bike to another shop, ever. Yeah. That like killed it for me right then and there, right?
Especially carbs. And nowadays, it's just such a specialty thing, and it's hard to find anywhere, right?
It is.
You need an old-timer or somebody that's really into it, especially when it comes to syncing 4 carbs together. It's a whole different ball game than running fuel-injected stuff that we use nowadays.
I need those vacuum lines. So like vacuum lines. I'm used to a laptop now, man. We're on carburetors. I'm gonna get that. Yeah. Exactly. Is this thing full with mercury? Don't turn that upside down. I did that. So I bought the old school mercury filled, fucking vacuum gauges. My dumbass man freaking picked it up, and I dumped mercury all over my floor.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude. I was pissed. I had to bother. This was back when you can order the go to the dealership and they order the little valves to refill it. So yeah, you can't do that no more.
No,
not at all.
No.
Now it's all either digital or analog, like a little tack.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So growing up riding with your parents, I did the same thing, which is absolute memories you'll always cherish, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Getting the first bike, street squidding, as we all do, because we think we're just fucking Valentino Rossi, Nikki Hayden, whoever it is, right? Especially when you first get your leather suit, bro. Then it's game over, right? Feel invincible, like, bro, let's go.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just when I was like 19, I had a friend that had a ZX10. It was brand new at the time, 2008 or 2009 ZX10, and I went and he's like, "Oh, take it for a test ride," and I took it for a test ride and totally thrashed it. Totally thrashed myself. Had shorts and a t-shirt on. Literally was a squid. Like got road rash and all. It was bad and made me step away from it for a while. That's why it took me till my mid-20s to kind of get back on and actually want to do it again. And once I started learning the process of actually how to ride, it just grew to another level where I was like, all right, I need to take this off the street because this is just getting too stupid at this point, and gotta take it to the track. And boy, was I humbled right away. Like I thought I was so fast and thought I was gonna win a race. And my coach, who's actually my boss now, is he was looking at me in turn 2 and at Brainerd, looking back at me like, come on, dude. You're going way too slow. And I thought I was moving. And he's just one hand on his hip looking back at me like, dude, get your butt moving. And I'm like, okay, I got a lot to learn here. I'll figure it out. But it took me a few years to figure it out. But now I feel like I'm to a point where I've sustained some speed. I'm a little rusty because I've been doing tires for the last 2 years. So, but I'm getting back into it and feels good. I love it,
dude. Listen, I it's something that a couple things we'll never forget. Getting our first bike, first leather suit, first time we drag our knees in our first track day. We show up, we think we're Ricky Road Race. Yeah, we got signed up for the mock race, but I just can't crash this session, blah, 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 for the track day, right? At the end, you get to race. I thought the same. I was like, dude, I got everybody fucking covered. Not an issue. Like I got watch this.
Yep.
Okay. So afterwards, I didn't realize, and nobody told me that when I come off the track and they see who just had that big ass piece of humble pie, right? They actually hand you a pie.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just joking, but I'm just saying, like, when I come off the track, that's what I felt as I'm back to my pit. Like they just handed me this big pie sitting on my tank, just waiting for me to eat as soon as I get back, right?
Yep.
It's almost like the walk of shame, but it is. It's a little ride of shame because it hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It hurt mine too. But
Big time.
you weed out the men from the boys too, or the girls from the gals, or however you want to put it.
Absolutely.
Because you're either gonna fight to get better, or you're gonna be like, nope, I'm not gonna do this. And you can see, I've seen it many times at the CRA where you get lots of new riders and they come in and they're humbled or they're not, and they're ready to go and keep on learning. And that's what I like the most is you just keep on, you put your head down and get grinding, and you figure out a way to get better and to go faster. And it's fun. I love it. It's part of why I'm also a coach for czars up here, and try and coach people to get better as they progress in their riding style as well. So it's fun doing that. It's also fun to beat up on your friends too when they're like, "Oh, I'll beat you," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure. We'll find out when you get on the track, bud."
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah. So going from the, obviously, I wanted to touch base on that too. Going from obviously track days to racing. I see all the plaques on your walls, which is absolutely amazing. Congratulations. I don't have, I just got one that was given to me right here. So
Yeah.
it's not even mine, but there it is. Right.
Yeah.
And another one back here in the background. There it is.
Yeah.
So, transitioning from, taking racing serious, because once you make that commitment, it's like you're in a different mode, especially the way you approach a track day. It's like your mindset's completely different, right? You're not there to show off. You're there to basically test and tune, try shit out.
Yep.
Work on yourself, work on braking, body position, whatever it is, set up with the bike and gearing and yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
So yeah, it's because you're fully just focused in this whole race.
Yep.
So how did you transition into coaching? Which, by the way, dude, I think coaching is absolutely amazing, because we need obviously coaches to teach the new, even throughout all stages of whatever level you're at, right?
Yeah.
And let me ask you this: 2 questions. How did you get into coaching, and does it give you the same feeling of reward feeling of seeing somebody progress the first time they're on the track, right? Is that the same feeling as racing to you?
So I got into race or coaching kind of backwards. Most people tend to do track days and then they go into racing. And I didn't even know track days was a thing until after like 2 or 3 years of racing. And I'm like, oh, there's a place where you can just go ride and not race. And so once I figured that out, me and my buddy Russell, we went up to Jessica, and who's the owner of the track day around here, and we asked her if we could become coaches or control riders, and she's just wanted to see us ride, and we were both licensed racers at that time, so she gave us the go ahead to basically be control riders at first, and then I grew into it more and started doing actual coaching at a smaller track down in the cities here. It's called DCTC, and that's kind of where you get more of the satisfaction of coaching people. The track days are up at Brainerd, and you do coach people, but it's more or less you're just kind of a body with a jersey on to keep people in line while you're out on track. Whereas at DCTC, you spend a lot more one-on-one time with people, and you get in groups after every session and talk about things and work on what maybe trail braking or your body position or whatever that session is that we wanted you to work on. And seeing people progress it's pretty awesome. It's great feeling watching them and knowing and that I help them or that one of our other coaches has helped them. And even as a tire vendor now, seeing people start one way, a year ago, and now the next year they're moving up and they're going faster and being even maybe kicking my butt. I'm just like so proud of them guys, because that was me, 4, 5, 6 years ago. It's a great feeling for me personally. It's winning is winning, and I love winning, and I'm very competitive, and there's no feeling that beats that for me. But definitely coaching people and watching them win it's a very close second place for sure. There's nothing that beats those two feelings, watching people progress and get to a spot that they can get to. They just need a little bit of a encouragement or maybe a little push or just maybe some technical training, or in my case, I'm very visual, so maybe even a video of them, watching them do what they do. I remember the first time I saw a video myself, and I was like, oh, I'm way off on my body position. I'm way off on leaning.
I ain't even leaning, right? I feel like I'm like this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really cool watching people progress and get better. And it's also fun watching them go from track days to start joining the club and racing with us, which is great to see. I love it.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's funny because Roger, I was smiling earlier too, because my man Roger, what is up, Roger? He says, "What's up, guys? My first rider school, they asked me when I was going to use the rest of my tire, aka lean that thing over." Yeah. Yeah. It's hilarious. And then the whole, chicken strips and all that. Well, whatever. It's when you're coming up, you fall for those childish games pretty much, right? It's basically what it is. So yeah, man.
We all had chicken strips at some point.
Bro, facts, dude. And one thing I tell people too, Christian, is like, all these guys, even the aliens of our sport, man, they continue to learn every day. Like they don't know it all, right? Just like the engineers of the sport, that everything's just evolving, especially now. Well, shit, AI is coming into it. I can't imagine what's getting ready to happen, right? But everything's back when, I call it the golden era of racing. We had the 750s, the true 600s back when, if you was with Yoshimura Suzuki, you had to race the Yoshimura 600 class and a superbike class, right? Things, are still carbureted up until 98, then fuel injection come out, right? But then it was just, little tuning here and there, and then all of a sudden it's you see the progression, but now it's like it's moving at such a rapid rate. It's just insane. We got auto blip. Like, who would have thought of that back in the day?
Right. Yeah. It's got pretty out of hand, and it's only going to get more in depth and more crazy. And I love it. It progresses our sport a lot too, having that stuff. And it also makes it easier, like auto blip and quick shift. It makes it easier for people that didn't maybe ride or have experience riding in the past. Allows them to learn quicker and get to that level of being confident in themselves and their riding ability. Traction control and ABS, all that stuff. It's definitely worth having in our sport for sure.
Oh, dude, I totally agree. I feel like I tell people it's like a safety mechanism for beginner riders, right? They know they have a couple different modes. If it's rain, they could put it in raid mode, and they're not worried about it, right? So they're not so concentrated on, I don't want to slip, I don't want to do, because we've all been there, right? The first couple of times riding in the rain, we didn't have none of this technology shit, right? We just winged it. Now, you got all these modes and play buttons and CarPlay and Apple Connect and yada yada yada. So I just want to ride.
Yeah, that's all I want to do.
I just want to ride, right? Let's go. Oh my God. So how did the whole tab performance, Kyle, you and Kyle own Sorg and all that come together? Because he's dude, and what's it like to work for the absolute legend, dude? He is such a legend.
Yeah. And it just, happenstance. I've known Kyle for a few years now. He races with us at the CRA, and he started his own.
You mean you guys ride with him at the CRA?
Yeah, I shouldn't say I race Kyle at the CRA. He's pretty dang fast up there too. He's a great guy, and he does suspension. He has his own business, and he does his suspension at the racetrack. And it was last year at the end of the year for the Moto America season. He invited me to come out and help for New Jersey. And so I went out and helped out, and apparently everything went good enough that they wanted me on for another season. As we joke around, I'll never get fired, and none of us will. So we all love working with each other and hanging out with each other. We definitely poke fun at each other and joke and laugh in the pit if we're not pulling an engine out or doing something crazy in the moment. But he's a great guy. He's one of my best friends, and he's a cool guy to work for. I've learned a lot from him. He has a lot of information, and he's a lot of knowledge, and he has many, many more years of riding experience than I have. And just getting to be around him and the whole crew, not just him, the whole crew. It's really cool. It's special to be a part of and to learn suspension and geometry and engine stuff and just all this custom things we're doing with these baggers. It blows my mind what I'm working on sometimes. But like my boss at the shop says, you know, basically working on a MotoGP bike that's a big Indian because of how custom it is. And yeah, it's fun. I wouldn't ask for anything else to work my butt off every one of those weekends, but it's worth every ounce of energy, and they're great memories that I get to look back on when I get older. So
100%, dude, 100%. And I remember I was at Daytona earlier this year, and obviously Kyle's my buddy too. So I was like, "What's up, Kyle?" He's like, "Hey, Simcoe, blah, blah." He's like, "Hey, come by the garage. I'm gonna let you sit on the bagger." I was like, "Say no less. I'll be there in 5 minutes, right?" Dude, one of the best moments of my weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Besides meeting Keanu Reeves, right? Which I just gotta be honest. But man, you know, you realize you see him, you can get close to him, but when you sit on him, man, you realize a couple things right there. It's a freaking big motorcycle. It's a lot bigger than you think it is. You sit on it, it's like, whoa.
It's tall, yeah.
Yes, very tall.
Kyle's tall, and he tippy toes on that thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing most people don't realize is that big fender up front. You can't see around that thing. So you're trying to take a corner and you're like looking around a fender that you can't see around. So he does all that with limited visibility and a bike that's just not meant to be doing what we're doing to it. But
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah, so it was an honor to meet you and the whole crew that weekend. You know, that day, man. It was awesome to hang out and spend time with every single one of you.
For sure.
I still need to get everybody else on too, by the way.
Yeah.
William Kawasaki says he never let me sit on the bagger. It was absolutely amazing, for real. It was, it was an experience I'll never forget. You know, I ain't gonna lie. When the bagger class first got announced, I was like, "What are we doing? Like, what's going on?" Right? But then the more I thought about it, I was like, "Man, what a brilliant idea!" Because now, you know, back when we were growing up, there was a difference. Harleys didn't like the crotch rocket sports bike guys, right? We didn't like them, right? It was this, but since the bagger racing's come in, man, we're all together now, right? It's a beautiful thing. It brought a crowd that we never thought we would see.
For sure. I firmly believe that it's helped the sport financially.
100%.
Having those kind of guys in the paddock and walking around and asking questions about the baggers. Yeah, maybe they're not as interested in our sport bikes, but they're paying a ticket and they're helping support the rest of our racing. And I think that's needed for sure. I know some people might be indifferent about them and other people aren't, but you know, I think anything that's going to help Moto America and the progression of our racing as motorcyclists is a good thing. It's definitely kind of feel like a dying sport with the next generation. But it could also blow up, and that could be just because of baggers and, you know, people like me. And when I was a kid, I didn't even know racing was a thing. And all I knew was baggers because that's what I grew up on. And imagine if it was going back in the 90s, I probably would have learned about racing a lot sooner than I did, you know, 20 years later. So I definitely think it's something that is helpful for all racing associations, is getting more eyes on what we're doing, making it more popular so that we can all grow together, you know?
Yeah, dude. It's, you know, a lot of people don't think that they can, you know, show up and do a track day or ever get on a racetrack and race. Yeah, you can. It's easily accessible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who'd have thought back in the day, man, racing a freaking, if they did it back in the day, right? Let's say Christian in 1980 freaking Heritage Softail or whatever, racing one of those like today, right? It's yeah, bro. Speaking of the bagger class, you know, the MotoGP is supposed to have a bagger class now, like.
Yeah, I think it's just the Harleys from what I've been told or what I've read. So pretty smart move on Harley to do that. I know that Harleys in Europe are kind of like a hot commodity, like having a Ferrari around here. So anything to get more awareness or probably more people to watch MotoGP is probably kind of why they're doing it. And also why Harley wants, you know, more people watching them too. It's a smart move. I wish. I mean, I don't know if Indian's going to be a part of that, but it'd be really cool if they were. Would we go? I don't know either, but it would be really cool and to be a part of that. I mean, why not? Go check
Never
out the
know.
world. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, in this sport, you never know.
Yeah.
You really don't. Yeah, I think it's great for the sport. You know, I know when I went to BSB, I was talking to Stuart Higgs. They're still trying to work out a deal to get backers over there in BSB. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know, man. Like, that's that. So, you know, everybody knows Cowboy Park's my favorite. Dude, it's literally like this wide, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's absolutely insane. And I was
Never.
like, dude, two baggers can't even fit side by side on this
No,
track,
not at
right?
all.
But I would love to see it in every championship. You know,
Yeah.
Australia, Superbike, Japan, all that. I think
Yeah.
it's great for the sport too as well. But then, you know, then they gotta buy the Harleys here and transfer over there, you know, all that stuff, which costs a lot of money. So.
Yeah, it costs. That's why they're hot commodities over there, because they're expensive, a lot more expensive over there than they are here, because they got to get shipped there. So
Yeah, that's true. So have you ever had the opportunity to ride a bagger?
not. I mean, a few years ago, I had like a what was it? A Yamaha Warrior. It's like a 1700, but it wasn't a bagger. You know, it was just more like a cruiser style bike. So I haven't actually ridden a bagger. Funny story is our cruise chief Shane. He's much shorter than me.
Shane's super cool too, man. But yeah, he is short.
Kyle actually let him ride it at a track day at Brainerd a couple of years ago. He did about 2 laps and he came in. And he's like, "Get me off of this thing, because it is just it moves around so much. It's so heavy. It's just I don't know. I don't know if Kyle offered me to let me ride it if I'd want to. I feel like I'd be afraid to ride that thing, but I feel like I got to do it at least once, just because then I could say I rode it once. But yeah, I haven't ridden a bagger per se, or a race bagger, so it would be interesting for sure.
Oh, 110%. We need to figure out a way to where it'd be mandatory that you guys got to have beers in the bag. So when you guys get a podium, you just open it up on the side. How cool would that be?
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, we need to figure out a way for that.
The bags are bolted closed, or else they'd fly right off. So
I know.
I wish we could. If we could find a way to do it, I'm sure at least our team would be in for it. I know that much.
I think all of them would be for sure.
Yeah,
10%.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. So, and then obviously, you know, you and Shay. How did you and Shay end up meeting?
She races at the CRA as well. I just met her there, and we started hanging out and riding. And first time we actually hung out was she grew up motocrossing, and she just showed me how slow I am on a dirt bike. Like, I'm like, who is this girl? And yeah, it was just, you know, game over after that. And I started taking her ice riding, because she'd never done that before, and it's something we do around here in the wintertime just to keep our blood flowing and keep the brain going fast. And it's good training just all around, and gets you comfortable with a bike that's moving around on you, because the ice bike's basically moving around on you until you get on the gas, and as soon as you get off the gas, it wants to step out sideways on you. And so it teaches you a different style of riding, and she enjoyed it. And I knew after about one day she'd be faster than me on that too, and she was. So yeah, it was pretty cool watching her progress through that. And then now this year she's just kicking butt in the CRA, and she's doing great with the BTR stuff that she's doing. And unfortunately, I only get one round with her as a Moto America, and that was at Road America. So I don't get to go enjoy any more of her rounds. But I will go out to her last round in VIR just to watch and hang out. So I'm sure I'll see you there.
Absolutely, you're going to see me there, man. I'm actually going to be Scott told I'll be a guest of BTR that weekend, actually. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'll be there hanging out, raising hell. all that good stuff.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
me, man. I'm wide open. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's go, man. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm you know, I was gonna ask you who's faster, but you already told us who was faster for sure, right? But
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
right, I bet, right?
We
Yeah.
were, we were just at BAR for track day on Friday, and she was kicking my butt for sure. We were renting some Ninja 400s, and I'm not used to a small bike, so I'm braking way too early and taking big bike lines and stuff like that. So,
No
but
corner speed at all. You're like, I got a downshift. Hold up. I
yeah,
totally messed that corner up.
totally off on that thing. But towards the end of the sessions, I was starting to figure it out, and we get to that straightaway, and she just so much lighter than me, so she just started pulling away from me. I'm like, I can't catch her. So, but it was fun, and we have fun with each other, and it's a good time. So
I love it, man. I
I
love it.
feel like
So go ahead.
yeah, I feel like we're just pushing each other to be better at everything that we're doing. So it's wonderful. I love it.
Dude, I'm proud of you guys. I mean, it's you know, and I say this all the time, how important it is, you know, for every rider on the grid, right? To have that team that fully believes in them and everybody gets along so well.
Yeah,
Right. The energy, the atmosphere, it's just when I walked in, that's all you felt, right? It was just
yeah,
positivity all around. And it's
yeah,
absolutely amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
We all say it all the time. Like if we didn't like each other and we didn't like being around each other, we wouldn't be doing it. Because if we're here to do bagger stuff and we're not having fun, then why are we even here? And especially being an independent team that we are, we don't have the big budget that the other teams have, and we don't have the plethora of parts that they have. So if we're not having fun, then what are we doing here? So that's the one thing we have with each other is we get to have fun with each other. And it's funny because at the start of the race, he knows what he needs to do. He knows how to do it. He doesn't need us to tell him what to do. So we always have to think of some funny one-liner to give him just to throw him off his game before he starts a race. So that's just the kind of team we are, and we enjoy it thoroughly. It's fun.
I love it, man. I love it, dude. It's awesome. And you're right. You know, what advice do you give? You don't. He already know, right? So you say something off the wall, right? And yeah.
Throw him off his game. He's pro rider at a pro level. I'm just some washed up amateur rider. Like, what's he need to learn from me? Nothing. So I'm gonna hit him with something silly that he doesn't see coming, and hopefully that'll get him on his game a little bit.
Right. Pull that line from Talladega Nights. What was he talking about? I put a pound of that sweet Alabama, whatever it was. Yeah. you gotta go.
There's been a few Ricky Bobby lines and a few other ones. For sure. We definitely pull them wherever we can. And usually me and Shane and Acker, we talk about it, and we'll be bullshitting during the day, and we'll be like, that's the line that we got to use. And then, we remember it and say it to him before we go out. So it's pretty fun.
And he loves it too, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
he does. Yeah. He's awesome. And he just had a baby not too long ago.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know he's busy because I've been there for sure. My son's
he's
12.
super busy now. Yeah.
Right. Same thing I told Corey West when I had him on my podcast. He just became a dad. I was like, how tired are you? He's like, bro, I barely sleep. I was like, welcome to the club, baby. Welcome to the club.
Yep.
Sean, thank you for watching. Sean says, proud of my cousin, Christian Swanson. His passion for racing is like nothing I've seen before. And this is why we ain't ever going golfing again.
Yep, it's true. We used to golf a lot. There was probably one summer we went like every weekend, every day of the weekend we would go golfing. And now I've been busy doing all this stuff. I just don't have the time to do it anymore. But don't worry, Sean, we'll get out there. We'll play around the golf soon, I promise.
That's right. Absolutely, man. So what do you do for a living?
So I work at a place called Cheap Thrills Motorsports up here in Minnesota. We mainly specialize in selling like used parts on eBay. That's kind of what holds us through the winter. And then in the summertime, I am the service manager. So I do a lot of service, a lot of specialty stuff. And then on the side of that, we're also the Pirelli trackside vendor for our area up here. So I do a big part of that. Me and my buddy Russell, we actually own our own business to actually help do the tire game with the boys. So we spend a lot of our weekends either up at Brainerd or at DCTC doing tires for people and helping them out and that kind of stuff. So it's a fun job for sure, and I'm thankful for it because it gives me a lot of leeway to go do Moto America and do all of those kinds of things that I wouldn't normally get to do with a normal 9-to-5 job. So it's great. And even when if I'm out in a race and I crash, I mean, I remember a couple of years ago when I crashed and I'm limping around the shop and the boys are just like, man, just go home, man. You're fine. We don't need you here today. So, lots of understanding because they're racers too. And it's just a great place to work at. And we're growing right now and we've added a bunch of people to hire. And so things are moving up for us. It's good.
I love it, man. I used to work at a place out here for 9 years before they went under, man, called Two Wheel Morgue. We did the same thing. But, they started out buying, obviously, bikes and then parting them out, right? It's basically what freaking everybody does.
Yeah.
And then his dad used to own a dealership out here in Roanoke that went out of business. So him growing up into it, he knew all the major players as far as Tucker Rocky and Parts Unlimited. So he got into where we were buying all the customer returns and then turn around and selling them. That's how I ended up getting like high dollar, $1,000 helmets, cheap as dirt, right? And all this stuff. So, man, I missed that job because it wasn't a job.
It's just fun,
bro. It's just fun, man. Listing it and shipping it and all that stuff, man.
Yeah, every morning we come in, we ship out parts for an hour or two, depending on how many we got, and then I usually bust right into working on service for the rest of the day or getting the trailer ready for a race weekend or a track day weekend. Now we got some extra guys to help on hand, so I don't have to really concentrate on so much as the parting stuff or the shipping stuff as much anymore, which is kind of nice because now we're a little over our head in service, and so it works out in the end, and it's been a good ride so far. That's for sure.
I love it, man. People don't realize, man, when you do that and you got a lot of shipment, dude. I remember there's days like I'd have to come in on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And pre-start shipping because I had 300 orders to go out. And I'm like, there's no way I can get this done in one day. Yeah. Absolutely not. Right. So it's a lot of work. And then you still part out, tear down bikes and blah, 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 blah. There's a lot that goes into it. But again, it's nothing but fun, man.
Right. Yeah, at 36, I'd be caring about boxes, empty boxes so much. Like, oh, I need that box. I need that so I can ship parts out with it at home.
Whoa. Dude, listen, if you go downstairs in my basement, you'd be like, okay, yeah, this guy, he eBays for sure. Yeah, it's my wife's like, do we need any more boxes? I was like,
yes, we need more boxes. There's always something that can go in a box.
Always. We can always put something in the box, right? Yeah, dude, I love it. Dude, actually, dude, we got Shay in right now. Shay joined the party. What is up, Shay? I can see her right here.
Oh, okay. Nice.
On my phone. Yep, there you go. Boom. Yeah, let's go. I like it, man. Man, listen, dude, we're 43 minutes into this already. I told you it'd go by super quick, right? So just stay on with me after I end this because we'll go ahead and schedule our part 2. Shay, I know you're in now. I told him next time you guys make a visit to VIR, call me. If it's a Friday, I'm off on Friday. So if you guys show up on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, obviously I'll come out there and hang out and we'll do some live videos together for sure. And then I can watch you kick his butt.
Yeah, probably.
I love it, man. Well, listen, I want to transition to one of my favorite parts of the podcast, man, where we get to know you, Christian, away from work and racing and all that good stuff, right? So, what's for dinner tonight, bro? Are you cooking?
Dude, I don't think that far ahead at all. This is a problem between me and Shay. Like, I'm like, I don't know, what are we eating? And then she's like, I don't know what we're eating. And I'm like, all right, I guess we'll figure something out. No, I have no idea what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. I'm more worried about working on my race bike for this weekend because it's a CRA weekend this weekend too. So, got to get that thing ready to go and get some new fluid in it and get a gear shift indicator put onto it, just some little stuff. And I know Shay's probably busy doing the same thing, working on her bike right now too. So that's usually what we're thinking about before we're thinking about dinner.
I hear you, bro. I hear you, man. And so you're racing this coming up weekend?
Yeah, so I'll be up there mainly doing tires all weekend.
Okay.
And if I can fit a race in, then I'll definitely try my best. But it tends to get a little hard on race weekends because there's always tires to be done. So
100%, right? And then switching between the modes, right? Work mode, and then throw my leathers on and switching to that immediate race mode. You know,
it's tough. It's tough for sure. Trying to keep track of who's paid or who's got a bill and who's waiting for me to get off track to get their tire done because they got a race coming up. It's hard for me to just jump into that mode of, okay, I got to go out and race now. And usually when I'm racing, I like to be left alone. And I got all these plaques a couple of years ago as a novice, and I won like over 30 races that season, and mainly because my best friend kept me in line and kept me out of my own head. So it's hard for me to be concentrating on tires and then also concentrating on racing. It's just they're two different worlds, and it's really hard for me to do both at the same time. But if I can try, I'll try. I know I won't win, that's for sure, but at least I went out there and had some fun. So
it's exactly what I was going to say. Fun, that one word, right? Fun. That's it, man. And yeah, I could see where that would be. You know, life in general, especially racing, is such a mental game. You know, and being able to shut it off and shut it on. Some people can, some people can't. Some people it takes them a minute, right? So it's I get it very much, dude. I really do. Was saying that race preparation and all this stuff, do you have any superstitions as far as when you prepare for battle? Right boot on before your left, socks inside out, anything like that?
Not really.
The same underwear for the past 12 years?
Definitely not that. No. I don't think I have like any superstitions. Like, I mean, maybe I have ticks per se. You know, like put my left glove on or put before my right one, but usually it's because my left one's harder to get on for some reason. I don't know. So I like to have an open hand to get that one on. But no, I don't think I have any like superstitions about going out to race. A lot goes through my head for sure. But yeah, once you hit that grid, all that goes away anyway. So just getting to that point of getting to the grid, and then everything goes away, and I don't have to worry about tires or what's going on back at the pit. But it's hard for me to want to step into that role and switch between tires and racing, and it's tough. I'll try it one of these days soon, but it's just too tough for me right now. So.
You know what? Honestly, Christian, dude, I firmly believe that if you tried it, it'd be a lot easier than you think it would. I think you would get on the bike once the leathers are on, you sit on it and you fire that thing open. It's warm. You're like, okay, it's time to go. The bills, the guy waiting on me, blah, blah, blah. All that's, I'll think about it as soon as I cross the line. Mm-hmm. Be like, shit, I got to get back as quick as I can. I got to do this and this and this. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I get it, man.
Yep.
Are you a cat or dog person?
I'm a dog person for sure. I don't mind cats. I don't hate them. That's for sure. But I definitely got my dog, Thor. He's around here somewhere. But he keeps me busy too, for sure.
100%, man. Dude, I'm a dog lover. Sometimes I feel like us humans don't deserve dogs.
Yeah.
You know, they're absolutely amazing, man. So tell us something we don't know about you.
I was born in California. I've never lived in Minnesota my whole life. Moved here when I was like 4 years old. So I don't really remember California very much. But yeah, I was born in California. So, but lived in Minnesota my whole life. So, I don't know if there's anything else that matters.
You can find that on your Facebook profile, man. Come on, man. You gotta have something like growing up wanted to be a rock star or something.
Oh, I mean, a good one, because she's an engineer and works on fire trucks. It's kind of funny because when I was a kid, I used to say that I wanted to grow up to be a fire truck and not a firefighter. I just wanted to be the truck.
Oh my God, I love it, dude. I love it. With saying that, what's your worst habit?
Definitely biting my nails for sure. That's a pretty bad one.
Yeah.
Also, I quit smoking cigarettes about a year ago, but I still smoke an e-cig every once in a while, so got to kick that one too. But those are probably my two worst habits for sure.
Yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit, and then of course I got into vaping, and that turned into just another habit. But vaping was good, man. It tastes good. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it's yeah, man. You get there, man. It's again, it's that mental battle, right?
Sure.
That you got to approach and face.
Yep.
But you got it, homie.
Yep.
Absolutely, you got it.
Definitely.
Are you a coffee drinker?
I used to be. I drink a lot of coffee for sure. And I don't know, probably about a year ago, I just stopped drinking it, and just it was giving me really bad anxiety for whatever reason. But I just stopped drinking coffee. I'll have one once in a while if I need it. Like when we got back from VIR on Friday night, we drove up to Brainerd. It was about 1 a.m. when we got there, and then I was up at 7 a.m. to start doing slanging tires. So Shay went and got me a cup of coffee. Then I needed that one, but yeah, it's not a habit that I can't have under control or anything. Definitely.
Yeah. I like coffee, man. I don't have to have it. Like it's either like, yeah, let me get a cup, or nah, I'm good. Look, here he comes. What is up, Buttercup? What you doing, homie? Nothing. What you need? Why'd you just cut me? Hey, that is Kayla's. You can't have that. Give that back.
I just went to close the door.
Oh, okay. So he made this butterfly knife for
Close the door.
Right? So I seen her at Road Atlanta. That's the first thing she said. Did you bring my butterfly knife? No. Sorry. I'll bring it to you. I promise next race. So
you paid today?
No, tomorrow.
Frig, bro, because I found the best things. My avatar, and they all cost $10.
Okay, well,
and
you can wait till tomorrow. High five, buddy. Psych.
It's
freaking hilarious.
I don't want to, but I will.
What?
I don't want to wait, but I will.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You just wait, bro. You just wait.
You wait. Bum, bro. That's a bum.
Do you have any tattoos, bro?
I do. I have a couple tattoos. I have an American Eagle on my leg, painted in red, white, and blue, and I have like it's like a landscape picture of like palm trees and the waves and the sun on my forearm, and I have one I'm not proud of on my shoulder. It's from when I used to DJ many years ago, and it's the old DJ symbol that was our logo at the time. So my boss said if I wanted a tattoo, he'd pay for that one and I wouldn't have to pay for it. So I was tattoo hungry that year, so he got me that one. So definitely one I want to get covered up at some point, but not too much of a hurry to do it.
Yeah, I got obviously I got tattoos. I got one that, yeah, absolutely I want to get covered up, right? It's the same thing. Squinting on the street, you're young and dumb. You're like, yeah, I want to get this tattoo. It's forever. You're like, yeah, cool. And then you get older, you're like, yeah, this thing sucks. Why did I even do this?
Why did I do this?
But it reminds you of the way you thought back then, right? It's different now. So
exactly.
Yeah, man, 110%. So everybody knows, Christian, that I'm a big. I listen to a shit ton of audiobooks. Is that something you do too as well?
Not normally, no. Usually, I just like to listen to my music whenever I get a chance. Soothes me the best. Don't normally listen to audiobooks, no.
Okay, all right. Well, you should. You should. If you do, the one that I recommend to everybody is John Hopkins Leather, dude. It is an absolutely amazing wild ride. He puts it all on the table. He talks about his alcohol addiction, his pain pill addiction, smoking weed in his freaking trailer right before he goes out and rides a MotoGP bike. It's like, bro, it's absolutely a great story. So I highly recommend it, man.
All right.
As far as podcasts, you listen to any podcasts?
No, just yours, man. That's it.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Honestly, I've been so busy lately. I don't even really have time to do anything other than work on my stuff and go
Sleep
to work and sleep. Eat. Yeah. It's usually I don't even call it sleep anymore. It's just nap time and right back to it again. So
I know several of my buddies like, dude, you don't ever stop. You just go, go, go. I'm like, dude, you can sleep when you're dead, bro. Right? Like I'll go to the point where I'm like, I'm just so tired. I'm like, all right, I'm out, and that's it. I'm fucking done. Right?
Yep.
Other than that, I'm just like, go, 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 man. Life's too short, man. There's a lot I want to accomplish, a lot I want to see, so.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So music, man. I love music too. Real quick, just touching on the music. If you used to pull up your music right now, what's the last song you were listening to?
Oh, I don't know. Probably something country. I love all genres of music, but it was probably something country. It depends on the mood of the day.
Yeah.
It could be rock, could be alternative, could be some hip hop, could be country, could be anything. As long as it's got a good beat and some good lyrics, and I'm listening to it. So.
Me too, buddy. Me too, man. It's music's one of those broad questions, right? It's very rare you'll find somebody says, nope, this is all I really listen to, and that's it, nothing else. Yeah. It's like, dude, you get pride in your mind, right? Like,
exactly.
Live, experience.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars, definitely. My brother.
Right. I got two lightsabers right here. If you were right here, I'd be like, dude, let's duel right now, right?
Definitely. I grew up with my brother. He got me all up in Star Wars for sure. And I do like Star Trek too, but I definitely Star Wars over Star Trek for sure.
100%, man. Yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd, man. For sure. Me and my son, we watch it all the time. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
If you had your own private island, what's the one racetrack you'd have on your island?
That's a good question. I think it would be at this moment in time. I think it would be Barber. That one, me and Shay went there with her dad probably a couple months ago now and did a track day there. And man, I picked that place up real quick and I just loved every part of it. It was a super flowy track. The elevation changes. It was the first time I rode my new bike. So like I had a lot going on, but it was definitely a fun track that I would definitely love to go back to again for sure.
Mine's Cadwell Park, of course. Everybody knows it's freaking amazing. Have you ever played Cadwell Park on a video game?
No, I haven't played video games in many years now. Just don't have the time for it anymore. Yeah, it used to be part of my bad habits, playing video games and sitting in front of a TV all the time and doing nothing on the couch. But yeah, I just don't have time to do that stuff anymore, which I'm grateful for, honestly. But yeah, it would be a fun track for sure. Cadwell Park with the jump in there. That would be super fun.
Bro, it's you hear it all the time. When you watch it on TV, it's nothing like when you see it in person, bro. And I'm telling you right now, it's like blow your mind. You'd be like, holy shit, are you kidding me? First time I seen Josh Brooks just launch it. Like his rear tire is literally 6 foot off the ground. And I'm thinking to myself,
insane.
Dude, this shouldn't even be legal.
No.
In production racing, like what are we doing? It's so beautiful. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
110%. Dude, if you could have one superpower, what would your superpower be?
I don't know. I feel like it's either flying or super speed, one of those two for sure. Which one, I don't know. I think I'd pick flying over super speed, but man, going super fast would be also pretty fun too. So probably flying. I think I'd go flying for sure.
Flying. Superman, he was always my favorite growing up. So I feel you on that, right? Yeah. Superman's that dude, man. That's why when they come out Superman versus Batman, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, that's not even a competition. Like, what?
You gonna put a rich guy in a suit against Superman? Come on.
Get out of here. Yeah, get out of here. What are you doing? What's Hollywood doing? Let me ask you this. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh.
He's like, man, you're hitting me with these questions.
Yeah. Just to keep on going and that life gets better than it is at that moment. For sure.
110%, man. And you just spoke of man, your new bike, bro. What you got?
It's not like brand new, but it's
new to you, right? Yeah.
So I found it in California. It's a 2008 old AMA R6, Graves built R6. So it's definitely different than my old bike, which was a 09 ZX6. So it's a little different and a little more corner speed, more flickability. Obviously a built bike by Graves, so it's got a little more power, full exhaust, auto blip, quick shifter, all the goodies that you would want on your race bike. So it's been taking me a little bit to get used to it, but I know once I do, that thing's a weapon for sure.
Oh, dude, beautiful bike. You have to send me some pictures of it for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Dude, if you could have dinner with any motorcycle racer in the world, Shay's excluded. You can't say Shay, right? Oh, because you're dating Shay, man, right? I know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be Shay. But if you could have dinner with any Nikki Hayden, Valentino Rossi, whoever it is, Joey Dunlop, whoever, who you gonna have dinner with?
That's a tough one. There's so many good ones out there.
I know. That's why I said just one.
I think it would be. I feel like it'd be Mark Marquez. When I started watching racing, obviously he was killing the game at the time a couple of years ago, and I was just amazed at how good he was at riding. And even when he had huge crashes, he'd just get right back up and go right back out there again. And like most MotoGP and most Moto America people do. But I think I'd go with Marquez. He's just got this mentality that I don't know. I wish I had for sure.
You know, I growing up, of course, I was huge. I named my son Hayden Rossi after, obviously, you guys know. There was a big rivalry. Obviously, Jorge Lorenzo, Sete Juvenal, Max Biaggi, dude, the list goes on and on. Once Rossi retired, man, I found myself like not such a diehard fan of just one racer, right? But being fans of all of them and being appreciative of everything that every single person brought to the game because they're all different, right? Then I started to like really pay attention to Marquez. I did in the past, but really like read his book, right? Mm-hmm. And it's stuff like that is what I mean. To see where his mental head is, to see, you know, just get to know him better. Knowing all the injuries he's had, almost career injuries, and coming back and still giving it his all. Yeah, he's one of the very few aliens on the grid right now, 110%. And I told people when I heard he's going to Ducati, I was like, I don't give a shit what Ducati he's on. It's game's over.
Yeah,
I mean,
go. Yeah,
just look, right? Like, it's yeah, man. And then with Top Rack, it's been confirmed. Coming into MotoGP, right?
For sure.
I feel like, I mean, Top Rack's one of those. Every so often, we have people that come in the sport that pushes it to the next boundary. Right? We had Doohan, we had Schwantz, we had Rossi, we had, Lorenzo, Stoner. Stoner to me is to this day, the most naturally talented rider I've ever laid my eyes on.
Yeah.
I firmly believe if he didn't retire, he would have won many more championships. 100%.
For sure.
Yeah. It's just being appreciative of all of them. It's with Top Rack too, right? So Top Rack come along, he pushed the game obviously in production racing. Like you watch him race, you're like, how the hell does he bottom out his front with the rear and still turn it and trail brake at the same time and then get on it's like
so
magic. Smooth. Yeah, man. Right. When I heard he was leaving Yamaha going to BMW and Johnny Ray, they were, went to Yamaha. I was like, I thought at the time that Johnny would have an easier time transitioning to the Yamaha. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, was I dead wrong.
Yeah.
Like absolutely dead wrong, and now he's coming to MotoGP. I mean, he's one of those guys that, I feel like it might take a little time just because it's such a different beast and different animal. And you got the ride height device and you got all – I don't really worry about that. I think he'll take like duck to water to that. It's just the tires being different, chassis being different. He has no problem doing the whole front thing. So that department will probably be fine. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a good move. He is 32, I think, if I'm not mistaken right now. So he's not – obviously getting younger, and now that I think about it, I don't ever remember anybody coming to MotoGP at 32 years old.
Yeah, that's pretty old to be joining MotoGP for sure.
But that also says the talent, I guess, that everybody sees, and
Yeah.
We'll see, man. It's going to be exciting, you know.
Interesting to see for sure.
You know, one thing I would love to see too, man, is like Moto America have tire wars, man. We need to bring that back in the series. Yes, dude.
Yeah, I think that would change it a lot. Change the game a lot for sure.
Absolutely,
Any
man.
other brand that you wanted. And I'm biased towards Pirelli, so of course that's what I would pick.
Hey, man, that's what I was always on. Pirelli's straight up.
Yep.
10%, man. Well, I got a whole bunch more questions, but I'm gonna save those for part 2. I do want to ask you 2 more questions though.
Okay.
One is, if you could travel back to any era of time, what time would you travel back to?
That's a good question. I have no idea. Probably just back to the 90s, man. That was an awesome time back then.
You're the third person that said that. Let's go back to the 90s, baby.
Back to the 90s, early 2000s, before everything went crazy.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Back when money was in motorcycle racing. Back then, people were making a living club racing.
Exactly. Yeah, I've heard many people talk about club racing back then. How you could just go around to every organization and just make a living off of winning races or being top 5 or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
If we could get that back, it'd be so amazing.
Yeah. One day, man, one day I would love to see it be back to there. We still got a lot of work to do, obviously.
For sure.
Yeah, man, 110%. So my last question for you, bro, money's no object. You could have your own superbike team in Moto America or Super Sport or Twins Cup or whatever class you want to be in, right? Yeah. What's the manufacturer motorcycle you would have, and who's the 2 current riders in Moto America you would put on your machines?
Shoot. I wasn't ready for this.
Kyle's probably listening going, you better say Kyle now.
You better say Kyle. Obviously Kyle, for sure. I know Kyle. I know how good Kyle is on a sport bike. And definitely Kyle for sure. Who would be the other one? I think I'd go Schultz too. Schultz, and I think I'd go with a Yamaha. Definitely. Yamaha, Kyle, and Schultz. That'd be a pretty good team.
It would be a dream team, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, and I could see Schultz and Kyle getting along like brothers from another mother for sure.
For sure.
110%, man. Well, listen, Christian, this has been a lot of fun. It's been an absolute honor to have you in the hot seat today on the podcast, right? As I've been calling it here lately. When I end this, just stay on with me for a minute. We're going to go ahead and schedule our next one.
Okay.
I'm going to give all my shout outs, and I'm going to let you in the podcast as I always do with all my friends. First and foremost, Next Level Financial people. Go to Next Level Financial. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, and all that. You guys already know who he is. Seth Starnes. He owns Next Level Suspension. He's in Florida. He does all the suspension for a lot of people, especially SFL Mini GP. He was actually at Daytona doing people's suspension there too. BisonTrack.com. Listen, it's 2025, people. Do yourself a favor. Take that off the rack suit that don't even fit you correctly. Let's just be honest, right? Make a backpack, a purse, or a duffel bag, whatever you want. Give it to your loved one or your dog as a chew toy, whatever it is, right? Go to BisonTrack.com, get you that full custom suit that's tailored, designed specifically for you. Not me, not Christian, but you. And it'll fit you so much better. You have so much more better freely. I just made a new word, right?
That's a new one, yeah.
It is. You'll be freer in your movements. And when you have a suit that's too tight, it could cause arc pump. Obviously, it might be tight in your arms, but baggy here. And then when you're going down the straight, it's like a parachute and it's choking you to death and all that good stuff. So it's 2025. Man, we're halfway into 2025 already. It's freaking crazy. It's, bro, I'm telling you, time is such a thief, bro. It really is. BisonTrack.com. Join the herd, people. Big shout out to Chef Eats. Chef Eats. Everybody knows who Chef Eats is. Have you had any Chef Eats yet?
I haven't.
All right. So my buddy Jeff Servant has a company called Chef Eats. He's in Georgia, and he sponsors. Well, he brings meals to the racetrack. You can order them. They come pre-made. Dude, they're absolutely amazing. Nice. A lot of people on here that listen to this podcast know exactly who Chef Eats is. You guys use a discount code. discount code, pin the gas, and save 10%. His meals are absolutely amazing. I get them. I take them to work, throw them in a microwave. The steak is juicy and tender. The pork chops are amazing. Yeah, it's, dude, one of my favorite things I got from him was this Philly cheesesteak tortellini. Oh my God, it was so good.
That sounds good.
Oh my God, it was so good. Anyway,
dinner tonight now.
Yeah, right. There you go. I'm actually doing a flank steak that's been marinating. On the grill. Since I have no AC, I'm not using the stove at all. So everything I'm gonna eat tonight's gonna be out there on the grill. So some vegetables. I got some. My mom has a garden, so she gave me some fresh jalapenos that I'm just gonna slice open. I don't even pit them because I love heat, right? So I just slice, throw a little cream cheese in them, and just throw them on the grill.
Nice.
All that good stuff. So I'm making myself hungry. Anyway, back to the sponsors, right? TST Industries in Florida. Everybody can go to, I should have been better prepared, theclothingking.co.uk and get all your Pin to Gas merch. When you go to the website, as a little thing you'll see at the top says partnership. Click on that, scroll down, you'll see Pin to Gas, and boom, there it is. I get a lot of people asking where I get my soft shell jacket from and my beanie hat. That's exactly where I got it from. You can too. theclothingkings.co.uk. Big shout out to SFL Mini GP. Anybody interested in signing up for race weekend, you can go to miniusasbk.com and sign up, and their program's absolutely amazing. That's where a lot of our future legends of the sports coming into the game, right? And the thing about their program too is you don't need anything, Christian. You don't even need a bike, boots, leathers, gloves, nothing. They provide all that. You just register, sign up, show up. Guess what? You're gonna have a proper mega wheelie good time. 100%. Big shout out to RD Racing out there in the UK. My buddy Jake Marsh, all my veterans out there. My buddy Jim's got you can go to vet2track.com. His whole thing is curing PTSD 1 lap at a time. You sign up, takes you out there to the track, you help a team out, get out there and ride. It's absolutely amazing. So any vets out there, please go to vet2track.com, sign up. It's absolutely an amazing time. For all the sunglass needs out there, Flying Eyes Optics, they are made by motorcycle people for motorcycles. They're made in Austin, Texas. I have a pair, but I keep hiding them because they keep disappearing between my wife and her friends and my friends because they hear me talk about it all the time. And every time I got them out there, like, let me try them on. And of course, I forget, right? And then I'm like, hey, yeah, you got my son. I need my Flying Eyes back. But you can get your own pair and use a discount code, Pin the Gas, and save to 10% off. And, you know, when you hear about stuff like that, I've been guilty wearing sunglasses underneath my helmet, and I know Christian has too, right? And you put them on, and that stiff arm just puts pressure on your head, and after a while it causes you a headache and all this. Well, the arms are super thin, super light. They bend all kinds of ways, and they pop right back. I don't even realize I have them on under my helmet. That's the first thing I did when I got home with them. Threw my helmet on, threw the glasses on, and went for a ride. And yeah, they're absolutely amazing. Big shout out to 64 Degree Racing. My man Tate made me 2 custom undersuits. I love them. They're my favorite 2-piece undersuits out there. So if anybody needs an undersuit, go to 64degreeracing.com. And I tell everybody this all the time. Please don't go to a track day or a weekend with just one undersuit. Matter of fact, bring more undersuits than you do any other clothes. Do yourself a favor. Just listen. If you don't listen to anything else, listen to that out of this whole podcast. Mm-hmm. Bring more undersuits than you do anything else. Yeah. Big shout out to Venom. You guys can go to venomsport.com and also get you some proper mega undersuits too as well. I got one that I'm getting. And she actually made this shirt for me and sent it to me. It's one of my favorite t-shirts. It's so light and breathable, and I don't have no AC. Feels good to have it on because it's not thick. It's super thin. So yeah, venomsport.com. She is absolutely amazing. She actually gave me, remember Jonas Fogger that raced in MotoGP? She sent me his actual undersuit signed. Yeah, dude, it's absolutely amazing. For all my friends in California, you guys can go to Racer411 at race/CRA.com and sign up for the Racer 411 program. It's absolutely amazing. My man, Aunt Lee Terry, they're always out there on the track. They have parts. They got undersuits. They got all kinds of stuff, and they'll help you out. So if you guys out there in California, don't forget Racer 411. Let's go. I need everybody right now to go to roadracingworld.com and donate to the air fence. It's imperative that we have those air fences. If we don't get those donations, we don't have more air fences. Guess what's going to happen? We're not doing this podcast and we're not having fun at the track no more. So it's $5, $10, $50, whatever it is. If you're lucky enough and you show up to a Moto America event, Chris Ulrich has got his 2-seater. I think the donation is like $350. You get a 2-seat up ride with Ulrich, man. How proper mega would that be, Christian?
That's so sweet.
Bro, I want to do it so bad, man. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make this happen. I will. Big shout out to BTR, Build Train Race. Everybody knows I'm a huge fan of that program. I love everything about the program and what they're doing for our sport. And so their next race, BTR, is actually going to be at the Ridge. So if you guys are in Seattle or you plan on making it, make sure you stop by the BTR, get you pictures, get you autographs. Trust me, they'll absolutely eat it up, and it's amazing, and they'll love it. So yeah, get you a hat, get you a t-shirt, all that good stuff. Big shout out to KYT helmets, K-Tech suspension, Ghetto Customs for all your custom body work. Everybody knows who Chris Parrish is, right? He's been making body work for a long time, especially if you got an Aprilia RS 650, 660. I don't know what's wrong with me. Or an SV, right? Because that's what he's known for. So he's laughing at me, right? Yes, I make mistakes. You guys hear it all the time. Big shout out to I got 3 buddies that make graphics, custom graphics, right? One of them is Drip and Wet Graphics. The other one's REB Graphics. And the third one is GRG Graphics. You're not going to go wrong by ordering graphics from any one of them. They all do a proper mega time job. There I go again. It's got to be the heat, man. It's got to be the heat.
Gotta get the AC working.
Bro, I'm waiting on my part to come do that. So it was this little control panel right down there in my furnace, man. And dude, it was $715.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, it just got hotter in here right now. I'm breaking out in a major sweat just saying that. Big shout out to Mark 10 Motorsports, Free Hug Racing, Nicole Polyich Photography, and my man Stick Boy. Yeah, man, that was a lot, dude. It's like I said, all these are my friends. I don't know why I'm showing my paperwork that I give all my things out, but all of these are my friends in the industry, and they do absolutely amazing at what they do. You're not going to go wrong ordering from anything from any one of them. If you guys have any questions, you know how to find me. I'm easy to find. Anyway, Christian, that's enough of me flapping these gums because I keep flapping if I don't stop, man. Listen, the floor is all yours. Tell everybody where you're going to be at. Listen, one more thing before I give him the mic. Where you going racing at this weekend?
So Brainerd up at the Central Road Racing Association. Yep.
Show up this weekend. Make sure you stop by. Say hi to Christian. Again, you have any posters or anything like that?
No, I don't got nothing like that. I'm not that good.
Anyway, make sure you stop by. Say hi. Yeah. All that good stuff, man, for sure. Yep. So, yeah, man, take it away, Christian. The floor is all yours, my friend.
Oh, man. Just want to thank everyone that's got me to this point. Chase and Devo over at Cheap Thrills, they've helped me learn so much and got me to this point and where I'm at. My teammate Russell with Close the Door Racing right here. That's our team. He's also been there, had my back for so many years. And then Kyle over at Adrenaline Engineering, always helping me out with stuff, giving me advice. Mike over at In Gear Moto, he's a great guy. He does a lot of racing gear, and he's always helping us out and hooking us up. And he's got real good information. He's really technical and loves going in depth with all that gear stuff. And then lastly, probably just Jessica over at Zars. She's allowed me to get a lot of free time out on the track, which helped me win all these plaques behind me. Being able to do track days and help other people while coaching, it gave me a lot of confidence, not only in myself, but my riding. So thanks to Jessica for giving me the opportunity to do that stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody I'm forgetting for sure, but yeah, there's so many people that have been around and helping me get to this point, and I'm just thankful for all of it. I'm so grateful for being able to do it and keep on doing what I love. So, and thanks for having me on the show. It's awesome.
Oh man, listen, again, the honor is all mine. And on that note, last thing I'm going to say, and I always say it, thank you guys and girls so much for watching this podcast. All the likes, all the subscribes, all the messages I get. It's an absolute honor. Again, if it wasn't for Christian and all my friends coming on here, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. So you guys are the absolute stars. And it's an honor to be able to sit down and be in this position and get every single one of you guys and girls in the hot seat and have fun, right? And do this the whole time. It's absolutely amazing. And again, thank you. And if you had not yet, please go to all the things and hit the things and the bells and the whistles. And you guys know the deal, all that good stuff. And I greatly appreciate it. And on that note, me and Christian, we'll see you at the racetrack near you. This weekend, I'll be at VIR. He'll be doing his thing with more of these plaques coming up on the wall. So the next time we sit down, have more to put up there. And let's go. On that note, we are out of here. We'll catch you guys later. All right. Just stay on with me for 1 second. Hang on.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to leave. No, I don't want to leave the studio. What do you mean leave the studio? All right. Let me try this again. All right, guys, we're out. I hit the wrong button. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't want to do that.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts. Get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.